Oda has basically revealed why Loki and Shanks fought. And this explains exactly why Loki believes that Shanks is a coward. This was what was revealed at the ending of the Harald flashback, and I don't want to waste your time, so let's jump right into it. The first thing we have to discuss for all of this to make sense is the fact that Loki did leave Elbaf after the death of Harald. We learned this to be the case as Loki didn't want to step in as king, as he didn't believe that he shared the same ideals of his father, and thus he couldn't maintain his legacy. We clearly know that Harald was one of a kind, especially when it comes to kings for Elbaf, as Elbaf are these fighters. But Harald wanted to change that. He wanted them to become more caring so that everybody around the world would stop fearing them. So because Loki knew that he couldn't maintain that, what he did instead was to go into the sea. This makes quite a bit of sense for Loki to do, as we know that Rox was a big inspiration for Loki and everything he wanted to be, as he wanted to be part of the Rox crew, but he never got accepted into it because Rox didn't want him to come. They couldn't bring a child to battle. But especially that now we see that Loki is a lot older and was the guy who was able to take down Harald, it is quite clear that he is ready and strong enough to be able to go out in the sea by himself. But he doesn't go by himself, he actually goes with a number of guards that ended up surviving. And this is where I believe that we see a Loki who somewhat becomes popular, as we do know that Loki's name is known throughout the lands. Loki's name isn't actually just mentioned in Elbaf, it is actually mentioned before, way before in the Whole Cake arc. And if you guys don't believe me, because what I'm about to say next is crazy, this was supposed to be Loki's wife. This was a major reason why I always had Loki on Fraud Watch, because this was the woman who was supposed to end up being Loki's wife, and I absolutely can't accept it. And matter of fact, he was rejected. So I don't even know what to say at the current moment, but let's just skip right past that. So during his time outside the sea, I do believe that we will see Loki perform things that were similar to Rox. So we do end up seeing that Rox did a lot of things that involved attacking world government assets like ships, especially the heavenly tributes that were going up to Mary Joie. So I do believe that we're going to be seeing Loki do something quite similar, fight various different characters, get an experience of the outside world, as we do know that Loki was pretty much in Elbaf his entire life. But I don't believe he will go as far as to attack the world government directly, or at least he won't attempt to do so early on during his journey, as he will be getting a feel of his devil fruit and him basically being able to explore this new world. So although I do believe that he will do damage that will get him a name, it won't be damage that will get Emu too upset with him. It won't be damage that will make Emu like appear and try and take him out. However, there will come a point where, just like Loki said, he will attempt to get revenge on the world government. And he will do that by trying to find a way into Mary Joie, just like Rox found his own way into Mary Joie. And with his new powers alongside his soldiers, he will go and attempt to avenge his father. But right before Loki will attempt to do so, Shanks would be the one to stop him, like he stopped Kaido before Kaido got the chance to go to Marineford, and also like he had a conversation with Whitebeard before Whitebeard ended up going to Marineford so that he can warn them. We usually see this habit of Shanks giving out warnings to pirates before something major or colossal ends up happening. However, when it comes to Loki, it's even more important, as his devil fruit is one of the key devil fruits necessary to taking down Emu. So Shanks can't let Loki act recklessly, because especially in their timeline, especially in that moment, it clearly wasn't the time where Emu was going to be taken out. We clearly know that a guy named Luffy needed to come through, and then we can finally start to see the race to take down Emu truly begin. And this is exactly why Loki calls Shanks a coward, because he worked with the world government. He knows the wrongs that they commit, and in Loki's eyes, he sees that Shanks is just another person who is not doing anything to prevent the world government from continuing on their tyranny. However, we do know that Shanks clearly has a plan, and Loki will definitely play a part in it. So he can't die in vain just yet. So Shanks made sure that Loki wasn't able to go and attack Mary Joie, and during their fight, he ended up capturing Loki and bringing him back to Elbaf. And this is why I believe that Shanks and Loki fought, as Oda made it quite clear, with numerous hints that he gave at the end of the arc, that this has to be the answer. That's why you have to watch this video right here, as I discuss exactly what steps Shanks has taken towards defeating Emu.